Hi. So we are continuing our series Co-Laborers with God, exploring the mystery of divine partnership. So in this second episode, titled The Dignity of Divine Labor, our anchor text is 1 Corinthians 3 verse 9, which reminds us that we are co-laborers together with God. There is no higher privilege that will be invited by the Creator of the universe to share in His work. The Almighty who spoke worlds into existence has chosen to involve man in His eternal purpose. This is not mere participation, it's partnership. Paul's word reveals a staggering truth that God works through men to accomplish His will on earth. So from the beginning, God dignified labor. In Genesis 2 verse 15, before sin ever entered the world, God placed Adam in the garden to dress it, to keep it. So work was not a punishment or a curse, it was a calling. Labor was designed as man's way of expressing God's image through creativity, order, and stewardship. But unfortunately, the fall of man corrupted it and turned joy into toil. But through Christ, the dignity of divine labor has been restored. So when we serve God, we are not doing Him a favor. We are joining Him in His sacred assignment. Jesus declared in 1 John 5:17, He says, "My Father worketh hitherto, and I work." That is the heart of divine partnership. God is always at work, saving, healing, and transforming. And He calls us to labor with Him in that redemptive process. Sadly, many believers see serving God as a chore rather than an honor. They miss the joy of knowing that divine labor carries eternal value. Paul said in 1 Corinthians 15:58, he said, "Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, knowing that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. Nothing done with the right heart for God ever goes unrewarded." Divine labor is not measured by visibility, but by faithfulness. Some plant, others water, but God gives the increase. You may never hold a microphone or stand on a stage, yet heaven records your quiet service. Every act of obedience, every prayer, intercession, whispered in secret, every seed you have sown in love, they all count in God's eternal economy. True dignity in labor comes not from what we do, but with whom we do it. So it may amaze you that some who serve in the sanitation department of their local church, washing toilets and picking up dirt, may be more rewarded in heaven than some preachers on the pulpit. Joseph managed a prison, a biblical Joseph, yet heaven called him a ruler. Ruth gleaned in a field, yet God named her in Christ's lineage. Jesus washed feet, yet He was Lord of all. So when our work becomes an expression of divine partnership, ordinary tasks become extraordinary. There is a quiet majesty in the hands of those who labor with God's heart. They may not be celebrated by men, but they are known definitely in heaven. The dignity of divine labor is not in applause, but in alignment. Alignment with the will and purpose of God. So when you teach, you pray, you serve, you give, you are not just doing ministry, quote. You are co-building with the master architect himself. You are helping shape destinies and extend His kingdom on earth. That's why Colossians 3:23 and 24, I paraphrase, it says, "And whatsoever you do, do it heartily, and not unto men, knowing that of the Lord ye shall receive the reward of the inheritance, for ye serve the Lord Christ. God does not call us because he needs our strength. He calls us because he desires our fellowship. Divine labor is God sharing his nature, the joy of creation, the passion for souls, the fulfillment of purpose with us, his children. So it's not about performance, but partnership. So whatever your role, do it with reverence and joy. Let your work be a form of worship unto him. Let your service reflect gratitude, and let every effort be offered back to the one who dignifies your labor with eternal meaning. For indeed we are laborers together with God, not spectators, not competitors, but co-builders of his eternal kingdom. To labor with God is the highest dignity in life, for every act done with him carries eternal significance and divine approval. Thanks for your time. God bless you.